I have no legs, one arm. People praise me for everything, for breathing. Oh, look how he got on the chair. You're such an inspiration. My whole life.
I was just thinking that too, bro.
My whole life.
As you were talking, I was literally just thinking that.
My whole life.
Yeah.
Oh, look how he feeds himself. Wow, it's so inspirational. I was on the street corner the other day. The guy was like, man, you're such an inspiration. I looked at him and I'm like, what the did I do? And probably shouldn't have said that, but I was in me, I'm the pessimist. I'm like, what did I do? And I built my whole life off praise. But you know what praise is? Poison.
Why?
Because what happens tomorrow when they don't praise you?
Mm-hmm.
You tell me. What happens if you build your whole life off praise? Well, I really loved your speech, Matt. What happens when they don't like your music? What happens to you? Tell me.
Dude, I went through that, man. I went through that. I literally, that was so scary, bro. Walking into the stadiums, I've spoken in front of Neno and I have shared stage. We've shared stages, man. Like I think the biggest stage that I've done is like maybe like 15,000. And walking into every room where somebody wants a picture. And I came from a background where I wasn't, I don't want to say I wasn't loved, but the love wasn't felt. By the time I was 16 years old, I was on my own, dude. And even speaking about it right now, like I just felt my inner child punch my chest, bro. Like he got scared even just thinking about what that was. And finally, I made something of myself from nothing. And it was sick, dude. It was so cool. It's cool. I'm still blessed with it. But last year, I almost lost it all. And at that moment, like I always defined myself as this and that, and a father and an entrepreneur and a husband and a follower of God. And I gave myself all these cool titles, but real talk, none of them meant anything other than what it was that I was idolizing. And that is the reality of the situation. What I was idolizing was that praise on a subconscious level. I didn't even know that, bro. And I get to that point and I almost lose it all. We almost lose it all. And we're at a crossroads and I was terrified, obviously, of my livelihood. I was terrified of my finances, being able to take care of my family. But dude, at that moment, I realized the biggest fear of the whole thing was getting forgotten.
Mm.
Wow.
Because I had been so forgotten my whole life and so removed. Like my mom, I was in Admiral Farragut Academy boot camp. I was in Miami Youth and Bridge, which was a halfway home for children. I lived with my grandmother. I lived with my godparents. There was a huge portion of my life where my mom was like, I just go. At my adolescent years. So I never felt loved and I never felt like I was important inside of the household. And I finally felt that. And the fear of being forgotten was something that wrecked me. Today, it's a little bit different because I just don't want to be forgotten by my kids and my best friends. And I got to see who had my back for real. And then that kind of like brought the angry side of me out where I was like, everybody else, man, if you're not with me, then it's us against the world, right?
Yeah.
And that was an interesting, I think the best thing that could have happened to me was go through that because that fear was crippling me from accomplishing so much more outside of what it was that I was just focused on. And I feel it in my music now. I feel it in my speeches. I feel it in my work now. I don't give a anymore. I'm not afraid to lose. And that feeling, there's something beautiful about that, bro, because it's hard to get that back against the wall mentality. It's hard to get that mentality that you had before you became successful again. Like that's a totally different person. And now I'm back at, I don't give a. You could love the music, you could not love the music. You could love my speeches, you could not love my speeches. You could love my mindset in this podcast, you cannot love it. But at the end of the day, my family is with me. My best friends are with me. And honestly, we started this podcast for the homies, to be real.
Yeah,
like, we didn't start this podcast on some like, let's go get mega sponsorships and go change the world. No, it's like, dude, Space of Solace, a safe space. A lot of my homies aren't talking about that we're struggling with. Yeah. And they won't talk about it, but they'll listen. And maybe we could just shed some light. So when you talk about that, bro, I know I'm rambling at this point, but it's something that hit with a ton of bricks.